Good evening, fans, and welcome to the Garnet Sports Network for today's men's soccer action between the visiting Eastern University Eagles and the Swarthmore College Garnet here at Clothier Field Stadium on the campus of Swarthmore College. My name is Jacob Brady, joining you live here. The Garnet could match their win total from last season with a win here today. They've started the season 3-1, only managed 4 victories last season, and they could tie that mark here today in only the 5th game of the season. They've managed to find some offensive life in recent days. Start off the season with an 0-1 heartbreaking loss to Ramapo here at Clothier Field Stadium, with conceding a penalty in the second period of overtime, and Ramapo was able to convert that penalty to win. Now for the Garnet, rattling off 3 wins since then, scoring 6 goals total, including a 3-1 win over Widener last week and a 2-0 win over Alvernia only a few days ago on Sunday the 9th. Yu-Heng Wong leading the way for the Garnet with a pair of goals so far this season. Ethan Witkowski finally getting on the board for his Swarthmore career. Here he is in the corner trying to get across, and Wong almost getting on the other end. And that will be cleared out the side off of an Eastern player last. Garnet throw-in will be taken by Ambeal near the sideline. Also scoring for the Garnet, Zach Viscusi, Woojin Shin, and Jason Muth. Garnet already scoring 6 goals, and that'll quickly be a corner kick for them down in the near corner. Eastern, on the other hand, they've scored 9 goals in their 4 contests so far. However, that score, I should say, a little bit inflated by a 7-1 drubbing of Mount Aloysius. They're only 2-2 coming into this game. That's lifted up. Muth trying to center it. And that'll go out of bounds behind for a goal kick for Ben Lockstamp senior goalie from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Ian Withy Berry, the freshman goalkeeper from Honolulu, Hawaii, making his first start in goal for the Garnet in place of the injured Oliver Steinglass. Hopefully, he will be back soon in good health. However, until that point, it'll be up to Withy Berry to man the goal for the Garnet. Wong's 2 goals are only 1 away from last year's high tally. Woojin Shin scored 3 all season to lead the Garnet. And Wong already with a couple through 4 games, so he is on pace to well surpass that mark. It will be a free kick for Eastern from about 35 yards out. This will be taken by Jake Cahill. I'm sorry, he will leave it off now for Colin Furlong. Furlong will play it quick, try to play it quick for Cahill. Instead, it will go to Barilli. Here's Witkowski trying to play it into the middle, looking for Wong. Instead, that'll get deflected back to Eastern. Cahill again, trying to pass it up through the middle. On the sideline now with Cade Harmon. Cade Harmon leading the way for Eastern. He scored 3 goals so far this season. Far sideline now for the Eagles as they try to work in on the Garnet defense, and that will be cleared away by Harry Nevins, the freshman center back from London, England. Trevor Homestead now pushing up in attack. He will play it out wide for Wong. Yu-Heng Wong trying to push through. That'll stay in. It's kept in by Barilli. We'll go back to the Eagles. Out of bounds now, far sideline. It'll be a throw-in for the Eagles. Barilli replacing Joey Bradley in the starting lineup. Ball out wide for McGlynn. Pushing up for Cahill. Cahill the give and go. And Beal tight on him in defense. Long switch from Furlong. That will be kept in. The far sideline, go out of bounds. Eagles thrown. Thrown will go to Jacob Myers. Switch to Cahill. Cahill trying to play it up through the midfield to Furlong. Some good first touch passes there to connect, but it'll be forced back to Jared Wisdom. Wisdom pushing up the sideline. Now near the side of the box. Trying to cut in towards the top, still with the ball, and that'll be, I believe Ambeal got a foot on it. It's Liam Harmon, the younger brother of Cade Harmon, with the run there, trying to play it up the line to Barilli was Lannion, and that'll go out of bounds. Eagles throwing. Barilli was probably would have caught up to that, but Alex McGlynn got in the way of him there. Furlong the throwing. Sorry, Cahill, excuse me. Woojin Shin will control into the middle for Homestead. Witkowski trying to play it back. Instead, it'll go to Lannion. Lannion now. Looking for space to push up. He will come all the way through the midfield onto the left side. Trying for the give and go there with Wong. Garnet offense always seems to open up when Yu-Heng Wong. When Felix Lannion pushes up into the attack, and I believe that's Wong who is now down at the far sideline. He will be helped to his feet, but Lannion possessing fantastic track speed in his first ever, I believe it was the 55-meter dash, an indoor track event, in his first time ever running it last season. I believe he set the school record in the event. So some excellent speed in that right back position, and look for him to push up into the attack, and everything really seems to open up when he does that. Try and turn on towards Withy Berry, and that'll flash just across the goal mouth and out of bounds. Good job by Withy Berry there to close out the angle. It was Liam Harmon who pushed the ball through, and Sankey maybe trying to cross that to Cade Harmon, who was wide open at the back post, but Withy Berry doing a good job to cut that angle off for Sankey. This will be controlled in the corner, trying to lift across in his Witkowski. Lock stamp for will jump for that one and make the grab. High punt up in the air, short. Ambeal trying to get underneath. Woojin Shin, said with head on, knocking heads with Sam Sutherland there. Out onto the far sideline now for the Eagles. Pushing all the way into the box and let it get a little bit ahead of himself there was, I believe, Sankey. And that'll be a goal kick for Withy Berry. Looked calm here so far, only making the first start of his young career for the Garnet. Ball off the head. Homestead, we've seen some good distribution from him so far. Witkowski. Now control up ahead to Wong. Wong flashing his speed. They're trying to get a ball in. That'll take a deflection out the back, and it'll be another corner kick for the Garnet. Their second of the match from the other side. And it'll be the foot of Michael Gross, it appears, who will deliver this ball. Gross lifts this one up. In-swinger, Muth trying to get his head on, and that'll deflect off of him, just sliced a little bit out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Swarthmore. Eastern University, short trip for them, just down the road from St. David's, Pennsylvania. Witkowski got in the way, almost a howler from Swarthmore as we take another look. Witkowski on the chase, got in the way, nearly deflected that one back into the goal. Instead, went maybe a foot wide of the post there, and Swarthmore will kick it away off the head of Colin Furlong in the midfield. Instead, it will be Ambeal to knock it down. Barilli trying to chase Cahill will clear it out the side, right near midfield for the Garnet. It will be a throw-in. Felix Lannion near sideline. Lannion looking long for Witkowski off his head. Couldn't connect with Barilli there. That'll go out of bounds. Another Garnet throw-in now, a little bit farther up. Be Lannion again in his hands. Once again looking for Witkowski, who will control off his chest. Witkowski on the sideline, back to Lannion. You can recognize Witkowski from a distance from up here. He likes to wear leggings. Rare that you see those in soccer players, but he is wearing gray leggings at the moment, matching the back of the Garnet uniforms. Cahill pressured on the sideline by Ambeal, and that'll be taken away by Woojin Shin, pushing it to Barilli. Barilli trying to turn. Instead, he will pass it back to Wong. Here's Homestead now. And there's the foul. Whistle blows. This will be a free kick for the Garnet. It will be Woojin Shin standing over it. Garnet lining up near the top of the 18. Curls this one in. Muth couldn't quite get there. Nevins was also in the area. Looked like he was looking for Muth near the back post. Instead, it'll sail wide and out of bounds. Goal kick for Swarthmore. Off the head of Furlong. Out of bounds off the Garnet. It'll be a throw-in for the Eagles. Right near midfield. Jake Cahill. Plays it short. That'll be pushed ahead by Ambeal. Now here's Barilli to Witkowski. And Witkowski getting his body in the way. Trying to curl one ahead for Wong. Instead that'll be cleared away, but kept in by Gross. Michael Gross. Witkowski trying to flick it forward to Wong once again. Wong will get it for the Garnet. Yuheng Wong, and that'll be popped up into the air off the heel of Joe Barilli. Ambeal trying to get underneath. Ambeal went down there, but no call from the referee. Taking it through the midfield is Cade Harmon. Out wide now. And out of bounds, throw-in will be taken by Liam Harmon. Back to Wisdom. Wisdom again. Now around to Myers. McGlynn up the sideline for Cahill. Cahill now looking through the midfield, trying to play a through ball, but Withy Berry will be there to wrap it up. Again, looking composed in net so far. Go off the head of Homestead, and Cahill will run out of bounds. Throw in for him. Be played back. Ethan Witkowski is the first to it. Witkowski out wide for Ambeal. Here's Lannion. Head for Barilli. Long looking for the give and go with Barilli. Instead, it'll go back to the Eagles. On the flank, Cahill trying to push up the sideline. That'll get wrapped up in the legs of Lannion. Actually, it will be out of bounds. Off of the Eagles. Witkowski trying to turn and force it through traffic there to Barilli. Instead, it'll end up back with the Eagles. And Lannion getting in the way there. Here he is pushing up again. This is what we love to see as Garnet fans. Gets it through the legs. It's still Lannion. Lannion trying to take the shot. That'll get blocked. It's Lannion once again. And nobody at the top of the box. Lannion single-handedly almost tearing apart the defense for the Eagles there. Wong trying to get underneath near the top of the 18, and that'll be cleared out the side, but kept in by Michael Gross. About 35 yards out. Here comes Gross pushing up. He will try to lift one in for Barilli. Loose ball. The Eagles have struggled with their clearances here. It'll be a throw-in near sideline for the Garnet. Take another look here at the run by Lannion. Played it through the legs there of McGlynn. Got back to his own ball. Set himself up for the shot. Didn't quite connect cleanly with it, it looked like. Got wrapped up in a couple of legs as it was. And this will be Gross now, trying to push up through the midfield. Witkowski popped it up into the air. Witkowski still with it. And Witkowski looking long. Trying to chase down is Ambeal, who can't quite save it. Right at the end line, that'll be a goal kick for the Eagles. Swarthmore standing over it. He'll go down the near side. This will be popped up to the air. And Muth, but cleared back by Furlong. And this will settle now for Barilli. Barilli to Wong. And that's taken away from Wong by Jacob Myers. Far sideline now for the Eagles. Trying to push it into the middle of the field. Beautiful tackle there from Shin to win it back for the Garnet. Got all ball. Try and push it in the middle. Here's Wong. Wong to Homestead. Homestead trying to lead Ambeal into space. Instead, this will roll out the near sideline. Throwing for Cahill. Crept up a little bit too far along the sideline. He will be waved back. Trying to play it into the middle there, and Furlong try to clear it up ahead. Gross will get underneath and send it back. Instead, it'll be Furlong the first to it. We'll play it up the sideline. Harmon to Furlong. Looks like he wanted the long ball for a second, but no cuts opening up. This will be pushed ahead. Witkowski controls off the chest. Barilli's got it, and now this will be back for Ambeal, trying to play it to Wong. Yuheng Wong has got some good speed of his own. Said he will play it back to Michael Gross. Shin looking for Lanny, and that'll sail over his head. A little bit of misjudgment there by Lannion on the carry of that ball. Muth flick it back up ahead off the head of Myers. Now here's Barilli, who will control Joe Barilli over to Wong. Wong trying to lift one up. That'll go off the crossbar. Still in play. Witkowski Trying to get back to it. That'll go out of bounds. Thrown for the Garnet near sideline. Take another look here. Looked like Lockstanford thought there was no chance on that ball. Instead, it went off the crossbar and remained in play. And I think caught everybody on the Garnet by surprise. It'll be a throw-in by Ambiel. Ambiel trying to whip a cross in. Go up in the air, headed down, and there's a foul by Homestead. Will draw it for the Garnet, committed by, I believe, Colin Furlong. So this will be a free kick for the Garnet. Good position here. About 30 yards out, we could well see a direct shot here with Yu Heng Wong standing over the ball. Wong going for goal, just a tad over the bar. It'll be a goal kick for the Eagles. Off the head of Gross, this will settle for Harmon. And that'll be cleared out the side by Gross. It'll be a throw-in for the Eagles. Looking long, and said that'll go off the head of Gross. Another throw-in for the Eagles, far sideline. Wisdom trying to poke it through, and the flag will go up. Offsides trap there by the Garnet. It will be a free kick for them from deep in their own territory. Be Withy Berry. Carry forward off the head of Witkowski, but now in the midfield for the Eagles. However, that'll be kept in. Looking ahead now. Here's, I believe, Ambiel. Ambiel trying to center it top of the box. That'll be kept in by Wong and cleared away by the Eagles. Homestead got his head underneath. Nevins pops it straight up in the air. This will be headed forward. Muth trying to get underneath. And now Harmon. Muth again in defense. Ambiel trying to play it back off his head. So we'll go back now. Cahill and Lannion's got it. Able to keep it in. We'll send it way back for Jake Myers. Wisdom. This is Sankey, and now the Garnet will turn and go the other way. Barilli leaving it off for Ambiel. Ambiel, guess he thought Witkowski was continuing his run there. Instead, it'll settle back for Lockstanford. Punt it long. Nevins can't quite get the head on. That'll be knocked down by Sutherland. Sutherland near the top of the 18. His shot gets blocked. It will go back to Harmon. And Harmon's cross out the back. Actually, it was a... no, I'm sorry. It is a goal kick for the Garnet. Withy Barry will push his teammates forward. Garnet playing looks like a 4-3-3 at the moment. Wong and Barilli up high. Witkowski, the center forward. Long switch. So we'll settle back for Cahill near the side of the 18. He'll try to dribble in. Still Cahill. So we'll settle at the top, fake the shot there. Instead, this will go back to the Garnet. But now Eagles ball once again. So go back for Colin Furlong. Around now, far sideline. Furlong looking for the give and go. Instead, it'll be kept top of the 18, and the one-timer sent over the bar by Julio Ardon. And it'll be another goal kick for Withy Berry. And Beal just trying to get the flick on. Homestead back to Muth. Nevins. Nevins looking long, but that'll go out of bounds. Far sideline. Number of subs now for the Garnet as Charlie Ward, Ben Lau, and Joe Barilli all coming on. Barilli had been in the starting lineup, at least for the first 2 games of the season. Actually, he had started all 4 up until this point, was replaced so we'll settle back now for the Eagles. And pushing up ahead and playing it through now to Billy Willenda. This will go out of bounds at the near sideline, throwing for the Eagles. Jake Cahill. Back to Wisdom. Bad for Furlong. Now trying to play it through. And this will be taken away by Barilli. Here comes Barilli and his through ball. It was looking for Charlie Ward. Instead, it will go play off the heels of Wisdom, but that'll go out of bounds right at the midfield for the Garnet. It'll be Lannion with the throw and right at the flag. Looking long for Ward there. Instead, it'll be taken away by the Eagles. Wahinya. Willenda now. Playing it back to McGlynn. Wisdom. Here's a long ball looking ahead, and Nevins will lead that back into the hands of Withy Berry. Muth long through the midfield. This will come back now with the Eagles as they push back in the attack. And now back for the Garnet. Yu Heng Wong pushing up the sideline, looking for Ward. Instead, that'll go be played out of bounds. Sorry, that's actually Witkowski he was looking for there. Another sub for the Garnet as they bring on Rodrigo Hernandez. Take Barilli off. Hernandez's, excuse me. First time back on the team since his freshman year. A senior now. Throwing for the Eagles. The far sideline. Cahill. This will be sent long, looking for Wahinya. Instead, will carry all the way out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Garnet. at the near sideline. Lanyon back to Muth. Muth through the midfield. Witkowski trying to control. That'll be cleared back into the attacking half by the Eagles. Now here's Sankey. Sankey around to Cahill. And that'll go out of bounds. But off the Garnet, it'll be a throw-in taken by Wallenda. Out to McGlynn. Wisdom. Harmon. Harmon again, trying to get through the midfield. Instead, that'll go back now over to McGlynn. Cahill trying to get around the edge. He's got Joey Bradley on him. Back to Wallenda. Now McGlynn. Eagles just probing here. Trying to open up something in the attack. McGlynn pushing up to Cahill. And that'll be led out of bounds. It'll be thrown for the Garnet. They will bring on Francis Eddie Harvey in place of Witkowski. Throw in by Lanyon, controlled by Ward. Eddie Harvey's got it. Bradley ahead to Ward. Ward trying to play in space for Ben Lau. Ben Lau off the side of his foot and forward. And now trying to turn back onto it is Hernandez. And this will be cleared up ahead, but headed down by Gross, I believe. Out wide. Now for Wallenda. To Cahill. Managed to play through the legs of Eddie Harvey. Instead, Hernandez will get it back. Charlie Ward. Now pushed ahead. Eagles ball. This will go to Wahinya. Wahinya trying to poke it through to Harmon. And now Lanyon will clear it up through the midfield. Out wide. Here's Sankey. And that'll be Lau who will get in the way. Garnet haven't been able to generate much in the attack in the past couple minutes. We're really able to take the ball away from the Eagles in the midfield and then launch counterattacks and really control the pace of play. Have been kept quiet for the last 10 minutes or so of gameplay. But here's Yuheng Wang leading the counterattack for the Garnet, trying to play it through to Eddie Harvey. Instead, that'll roll back to Lockstamp 4. Kind of counterattack we're looking for there. And Lockstamp 4 will punt it ahead off the head of Nevins. Trying to control it there was, I believe, Wong, but it'll go out of bounds. And Julian Bueno coming on as a substitute for the Garnet. Or actually, not quite yet. And a foul in the defensive half for the Eagles. It'll be a free kick for them. This ball tracked back by Jacob Myers. The sideline, Hernandez able to take it away. And now here comes Ward in the corner. Ward trying to center it. And a shot from Hernandez directly at lock stamp 4. His second save of the game now. Short punt from him off the head of Ward. That'll be pushed forward by Ward, but Hernandez unable to get to it. Instead, it's Sankey the first. Myers. Sankey. Cahill. Wahinya. And a foul. It'll be an Eagles free kick from about 35 yards out. Taken quickly onto the sideline for Harmon. Harmon trying to cut in towards the top of the 18. He will get tripped up, and that is a free kick for the Eagles, and that's a pretty dangerous spot. Take another look here at the foul. Liam Harmon trying to get in. Oh, yeah, Gross just looked like he might have stepped on his foot there. Got his leg in the way. Tripping up Harmon. That'll be a free kick. About 25 yards out for the Eagles. I'd be looking for a direct shot here. And it could be Withy Berry's first real test of the game. It is a shot, but Harry Nevins able to get his head in the way. Keep it away from danger. Bradley pushing it forward. Now here's Hernandez. The Garnet counterattack. A little bit stymied there. Nobody could control cleanly. And now here's Hernandez. Francis Eddie Harvey trying to play into space for Lau pushing up. Instead, it will be Wong. Wong, side of the box, trying to get a cross in. Garnet now able to bring Julian Bueno on. And they will have a corner kick. Their third of the game. And it'll be the leg of Michael Gross on this delivery. In-swinger from Gross. That's a tall ball over the head of Nevins and out the back. Nevins looked like he was clear at the back post there, but Gross just a little too high on the delivery. And this will be a goal kick for lock stamp 4. Off the head of Cahill, Eddie Harvey will let it out the side, and it'll be a Garnet throw-in. Will be taken by Joey Bradley. The sideline off the back of Lau, and that's now cleared out towards midfield. Nevins will head forward. Bueno trying to push it forward to Eddie Harvey. Eddie Harvey now in the middle. Back to Lau. Gross will lead that out of bounds. Throwing for the Garnet. The far sideline. Eddie Harvey. And Gross, the first foot on. Instead, it'll be Zach Harley. Take it away. Harley will kick it out of bounds. It's another Garnet throw-in at the far sideline. Once again, Michael Gross. Sophomore defender has started every game so far this season for the Garnet. From Manhattan, New York. Billy Walenda. Instead, this will go back now. Muth. Ward trying to control through the midfield. Still Ward. He will get shoved down in the back by Colin Furlong. And it'll be a free kick for the Garnet from inside the center circle. Lau will pass it out wide for Lannion. Bradley tried to connect with Lanny on the give and go. This will be kept in by Gross, played back in towards the midfield, headed down by Ward. Eddie Harvey trying to push up ahead. And this will settle back for Harmon. Wahinyan Bradley the first to it. Lannion to Muth. Down to 5 minutes left to play. Eddie Harvey off the chest. Hernandez. Now Bradley. Hernandez. Once again, Harley able to get the ball cleanly, and Bradley will take it away from him. Joey Bradley to Ward. And he will play it up to Gross in space, pushing up in the attack. Michael Gross trying to cut in towards the middle and trying to lift one in there. Bueno, it'll go out of bounds. Garnet throwing. Michael Gross will take it. Popped up into the air. Eddie Harvey trying to get underneath. Still, Eddie Harvey still fighting for it. Now it's Charlie Ward near the top of the 18 trying to play a ball in. And unable to catch up to it there is Joey Bradley, who is making a run to the back post. And the Eagles will bring in Evan Needs, a senior forward from Wilmington. Inside 4 minutes now to play. And it'll be a goal kick for Lock Stamp 4. Muth will clear away, but popped up into the air once again. Lau trying to get underneath. Lannion track that ball down and lead it out of bounds, throwing for the Garnet. He will go long up the sideline looking for Hernandez to try to ignite the counterattack there. Eagles throwing near sideline. This will be taken by Jake Cahill. Nobody open. And this will go back to Muth. That ball will go out of bounds. Throwing once again for the Eagles near midfield. Up ahead now in the corner is Needs. This will go out of bounds, and Jason Muth is now down. Looks like he's fixing his laces. He is back up on his feet now. Always good to see. And it'll be a corner kick for the Eagles. Their first of the game. Inside 2 minutes now to play. In swinger at the back post. Headed just wide. Take another look here. It's a great ball and just left completely unmarked there. Was Billy Walenda. Should have had that. That is a absolute defensive breakdown by the Garnet there, leaving Walenda completely unmarked at the back post. He is not happy with himself, clearly. Knows he could have easily put that one to the back of the net. However, it remains 0-0. Bueno pushing up now in the attack. Bueno. Back to Gross. Inside 1 minute now. Gross trying to lift across in. Nobody on the other end. Lannion pushing up and Selby taken away from him by Wahinya. And Lannion showing off the track speed there to get back to that ball. Will go out of bounds off the foot of Muth. Thrown goes to Wahinya. It's poked away by Ward, and now here comes Hernandez. Hernandez taking a shot, went off the back of Dennis Cosgrove. Back to Ben Lau, out wide now for Gross. Down to 20 seconds. There's a shot from Ward. Saved by Lockstam for another loose ball and another save by Lockstam for Charlie Ward. Taking a shot from distance there. Lockstam for couldn't corral the initial shot. We take another look here. There he is from about 25 yards out. Bouncing ball. Lockstam for it to dive to his side. And then Joey Bradley couldn't get a clean touch on in front of the goal. The Garnet have brought the pressure in spurts here. They've recorded 10 shots so far. Gotten 4 saves out of Lockstamp 4. However, your score 0-0 as we head to the half. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for second half action here from Clothier Field Stadium.
Together, we are driven.
1, 2, 3.
To motivate. To challenge. To lead. Every practice. Every play. Every day. Every season. 11 schools. Together in competition. We are the Centennial Conference.
It goes back to our origins as an institution committed to serving the common good. We come together to work, to study, because we believe it can have an impact on the world beyond the campus.
People aren't just one thing. They're not just students. They're not just athletes. They're not just activists.
Everyone has something that they're passionate about, something that distinguishes them.
SWAT calls you out on your opinions and your beliefs. People are okay with saying, no, I disagree with you and I want to have a productive conversation with you.
People are really invested in learning for the pure joy of it.
People just have a social conscious sense to impact the world and try and make it a better place.
Your academic life and your social life overlap completely. It's the people that make the place for me.
I get a huge sense of joy from those conversations that last way longer than you think. And the conversation just changes your entire perspective on something.
Swarthmore has changed me in ways that I haven't even begun to contemplate yet.
No matter what I end up doing, I have a commitment to social justice and social change.
My ultimate goal is to use my knowledge in the real world to actually try to make the world a little bit of a better place.
The liberal arts is a profoundly optimistic way to view the world, and I think it sets you up for a lifetime of engaging with the world and with other people.
Whether they are humanists or scientists or social scientists, Swarthmore students believe in bringing the full power of their intellect and the passion of their spirit to contribute to the larger society. This is the time to celebrate the value of a Swarthmore education and the value of a liberal arts education to democratic society.
Centennial Conference is about balance. We want the students to become the best they can be in the classroom, the best they can be in their athletic pursuits, and our colleges do everything we can to enhance that. You're going to feel the exact same things that you would feel as a Division I or Division II athlete in the Centennial Conference. You're going to feel the heart racing. Your teammates are going to be cheering you on. You're going to be in that huddle, firing each other up, getting ready for the opening tip or the first kickoff. All of this is what we look for and we hope that our students get to achieve in the conference. You look at the rivalries in our conference, and these schools have competed against each other for over a century. To be able to turn them over to talented faculty and talented coaches to bring out what we all know is there, that athletic ability, that ability to achieve in the classroom, the ability to achieve in the lab. The community that we build within the Centennial Conference is truly special. We have 11 schools that are competing at everything they do. They're competing for the best faculty, they're competing for the best students, they're putting together the best facilities. There are 43 conferences, and I feel that the Centennial Conference is at the top of Division III.
1, 2, 3,
On the field of competition, you're going to be a starter, you're going to be a key reserve. You may be an all-conference player, you may be an all-American player. In the classroom, you are going to achieve great things. You could be on the dean's list. You could receive a departmental award. You could receive the college's highest prize when all is said and done. It's the ability to provide that kind of balance to allow a student to achieve in both ends, which makes the Centennial Conference remarkable.
Welcome back to the Garnet Sports Network for second half action here between the Eastern University Eagles and the Swarthmore College Garnet. The score 0-0 as it currently stands. The Garnet 10 shots so far, 4 of them on target, forcing 4 saves out of Ben. Lock stamp 4. Garnet almost had a chance to go ahead right at the end of the second half as Charlie Ward's initial shot was saved by Lockstamp 4, and then Bradley almost able to knock the rebound home, but instead a weakly hit ball. Homestead quickly looking up the sideline for Wong. Off that of Barilli. Barilli's still got it, and that'll be cleared out the side. It'll be a throw-in for the Garnet near sideline. Michael Gross to Barilli. Gross again. He will lift a cross, and Witkowski trying to center it. And nobody on the other end for the Garnet. And this will go out of bounds. In the corner fighting for it, and now go out of bounds. Throw in for the Garnet. It'll be Ambeal. Ambil short to Shin. Woojin Shin trying to play through the legs to Yuheng Wang. Witkowski looking for it at the top of the box. Instead, that'll go all the way out. Lanyon will head it back to Muth. I'll go out of bounds. Looks like it caught Cade Harmon in the chin there. But it'll be a throw-in taken by Lanyon to Witkowski. And now a throw-in for the Eagles. Jake Cahill. Cahill playing it long. Lanyon back up ahead. Harmon trying to control. And that'll be knocked out of bounds. Throw-in for the Eagles in the attacking half. This will be Cahill. Again, this will go back now to Myers. To Harley. And out of bounds. Throw-in will be taken by Zach Harley. This will go back to Nevins. Homestead trying to push it to Barilli, and that will not quite stay in. However, it will be an Eagles throw-in. Will be taken by Harley at the near sideline. Fight for it, playing it back. Wong will give chase. And this will get caught up in his legs. And able to finally push it through. Instead, Woojin Shin will poke it into the center. Now played out wide. Trying into the middle and now push ahead for the Garnet. Here's Shin, the through ball, looking for, I believe, Barilli there. That'll go. Did it go out the side? Yes, it will be a throw-in to be taken by Ambil. Right near the corner flag. And we'll play it short to Barilli. Ambil looking to send a cross in towards the top of the box. This will be headed away. Still up the sideline, trying to get it over the head of Muth. Nevins, however, in the area. He will head out of bounds. Eagles thrown. So we'll go back to McGlynn. Myers trying to poke it up ahead. Witkowski applying pressure there. On the sideline for the Eagles, trying to cut in towards the top of the 18. Instead, it'll be Gross who will bring it into the middle. That'll be cleared out the side. Throw-in for the Eagles. Trying to poke it forward. Now played out wide by Ardone. And this will go out of bounds. Thrown for the Garnet will be taken by Michael Gross at the near sideline. And he crept just a bit too far up the sideline. Throw-in off the chest of Homestead, and he was fouled from behind. And this will be a free kick for the Garnet. Nevins standing over it. Off the head of Harley. Homestead trying to push it forward to Barilli. Barilli still on it. Back to Gross now. Michael Gross trying to push up in the middle. Instead will go to Lanyon. There's space for him to work if he so chooses. Back to Homestead. Homestead looking up the sideline. Wong will control. He's got Zach Harley on him. Tried to play it through the legs of Harley. Michael Gross will keep it, and that's a tackle by Zach Harley. And Actually, it'll be Eagles ball. Throwing now for the Eagles. And this will go out of bounds. Eagles throwing at the near sideline. The Eagles bench is fired up here to start off the second half. And this will go out of bounds. Throw in for Eastern. Deep inside Garnet territory. Trying to push up is Harmon. He ran into Woojin Shin there. No foul to call by the referee, much to the chagrin of Jeremy Payne, the Eastern coach. There's a shot from distance, and that'll go just wide. Pass to Withy Berry. Take another look here. Cade Harmon turning on and unleashed from distance. Withy Berry looks like he had his near post covered up, which is where Harmon was aiming. It was wide anyway, and it'll be a goal kick for Withy Berry. Off the head of Homestead and carrying forward now. That'll be cleared back, however. Woojin Shin off the back of his head, and here's Ambeal. Forward, Wong will control off his chest, over to Gross. Here's Wong, nobody making a run for the Garnet. It'll be a throw-in for them, however. At the near sideline will be taken by Michael Gross. Gross looking for Witkowski. Witkowski, one of the taller players on the Garnet squad. Here's Liam Harmon. Looking for the long switch, and that'll be kept in by Jake Cahill at the far sideline. And now here come the Garnet once again. It's Joe Barilli fighting for it. This will go back now to Lannion, to Muth. Muth a little long there for Barilli. This will be controlled off the chest in the midfield. That's a good tackle by Woojin Shin. And the switch to Liam Harmon. And now here's Cade Harmon. Nevins wanted the offsides flag, got it through his legs. Harmon once again, now to the top of the box. Cross lifted in, and that'll go wide. Goal kick now for the Garnet from the leg of Withy Berry. Take another look here. It was Liam Harmon. Passed it back to Myers. And now turn to live play. Barilli. Wong able to just control, and Zach Harley will clear it out the side. That'll be a throw-in for the Garnet. Michael Gross. Gross, that'll go out of bounds, and once again it'll remain Garnet ball. Another throw-in. Looking for Witkowski, trying to chase it down the corner, and he will be pushed off the ball by Myers, who will try to clear away and sets off the head of Homestead, but now Cade Harmon. And that's taken away from him by Homestead. Shin over to Homestead. Played out wide for Wong. A little bit of congestion there, trying to whip across, and that was almost a great ball for Ambeal. Instead, it'll be touched out of bounds, and it'll be another corner kick for the Garnet, their fourth of the night. And it'll once again be the leg of Michael Gross to deliver the cross. This angle looks like he's being a little generous there with the spot of that cross. It's like it's pretty well in front of the corner line, but referee will let him get away with it. Put it in right towards the center of goal. Back out wide to Gross. He will control in the corner once again. Zach Harley on him. Trying to get through Harley's legs, and he will get shoved down. Clear foul there. And Gross holding on to his left knee at the moment. We will see if he is all right. And Gross able to get back to his feet. It'll be a free kick from the near sideline, about 10 yards off the end. That's a dangerous ball off the head of Nevins. I'll go at the back. It's another corner for the Garnet, opposite side. Now, let's see if we can get a closer look at that chain of events. It was Nevins who got the initial head on and then went off the shoulder of Jacob Myers. Liam Harmon tried to save it right at the end line. However, it went out of bounds anyway. It'll be a corner kick taken by Yu Heng Wong, lifted in. And another ball that was loose right near the goal mouth. Ambeal trying to volley it back in, and he will shank it wide. Goal kick. Take another look here at this corner kick by Wong. Lock Stanford got his hands on, couldn't get a clean catch, but was not. It was not faulted for his error there. Instead, it'll be now a throw-in for the Garnet, the far sideline, taken by Lannion. Lannion looking long. Once again, but will be taken away by the Eagles. Into the midfield. Wong can't quite connect. Can Wong get back to his ball? That's a good tackle. It'll go out of bounds, however. Eagles throwing near sideline. Taken short to Myers. Harley up ahead, and it'll be Muth the first onto that ball. Way up ahead off the head of Myers. And now it's Ambeal. Ambeal trying to play it to Wong in space. Wong just a little bit too strong there for Witkowski. Eastern thrown, far sideline. Pushing towards the middle and unable to catch up to that ball was Barilli. Almost an error there by the Eagles. Instead, it'll be played now wide to Liam Harmon. This will go the top for Furlong. Out wide once again for the Eagles. Now cutting in towards the top of the 18, trying to get past, I believe, Homestead there, and now a chance on the counterattack for the Garnet. Barilli was trying to make a run through. Instead, it will be Witkowski. Witkowski's still with it. He will chip it forward, trying to play it to Wong. Can Wong control near the end line? Puts a cross back through. Woo Jin Shin got his head on. And that'll be cleared out of the 18. It was a heavy touch initially by Yu Heng Wong. Lannion now pushing up. He will get tripped up. And that is a foul about 30 yards from goal. It'll be a free kick for the Garnet. Yeah, just a little bit of a heavy touch there from Wong, and he was forced to run all the way to the end line and then just try to put it back across goal. Couldn't control off the initial touch on the chip forward from Witkowski. It'll be Ambeal with the free kick, trying to center it back. I believe it was Witkowski. This will be popped up into the air. Gross trying to get underneath. Error on the touch there by him. And it'll be a Eastern thrown at the near sideline. Julian Bueno coming back on for the Garnet in place of Yu Heng Wong. He has got plenty of speed to him. Maybe not quite on par with Lanyon, but definitely close. And that'll go out of bounds. Garnet throwing near sideline. Michael Gross. Barilli got to it, and Beal will play it back to Muth. And now here's Lanyon, who will poke it forward, too far ahead for Witkowski there. Looked like he might be able to have gotten the controlling touch there for a second. Instead, it'll go out of bounds. Quick throw-in for the Garnet. Now back for Lanyon. Lanyon will push up towards the top of the 18. Still Lanyon. And a foul called. Be an Eastern free kick from right near the top of their own 18. Around to Harley. Back into the middle for Jacob Myers.
Number 19, Bryce Wahinya.
Over to McGlynn.
Number 22, Billy Walenda. And number 34, Evan Needs. Back in for
and here's a long ball. Looking forward. And Needs tried to cut it back across goal. However, nobody in the area. Throw-in taken quickly. Or trying to take it quickly. Actually crept up a little bit too far there was Michael Gross. Will, however, be a throw-in to Gross off the head of Bueno. And Homestead trying to pass it forward to Barilli. Bueno almost able to get in the way. There's a cross. Lanyon gets his hand underneath. This will be poked forward. Now Furlong. Played up ahead. It looked like Nevins might have shoved him down there. However, no call. Furlong over to Harley. Now over here's Harley trying to get a cross in and got caught up in the legs of Julian Bueno and went out of bounds. So it'll be a corner kick for the Eagles. This will be Colin Furlong in the corner. The outswinger from Furlong. Headed back across goal, and I believe the offsides flag was up there. Furlong's ball went up, or not completely sure what the call there was, but it'll be Withy Berry. Maybe even a dive, but I would normally warrant a yellow card. Instead, it'll be Withy Berry with the goal kick for the Garnet. But first, a number of substitutions. Ben Lau, Charlie Ward, and Joey Bradley all coming back on for the Garnet. In the midfield, here's Bueno. Bueno can't quite catch up to his own ball on the near sideline. It'll be a throw-in for the Eagles.
Into the game for the Garnet, number 2, Ben Lau. Number 9, Joey Bradley. And
Michael Gross fighting for and said this will be back now. Zach Harley trying to lift it forward off the head of Nevins. Joey Bradley to Lau. But this will be taken away once again by Wahinya for the Eagles. Gets it around Bradley, and Muth will clear that out the side. It's a throw-in for the Eagles' far sideline. This will be a long throw, almost to the middle of the box, and Nevins, so he got his head on. Lannion trying to chase it down. He will put this out the side. It'll be another throw-in for the Eagles to be taken by Billy Walenda. And he will once again look to send this one long towards the middle of the box. It's another beautiful one. That's punched away by Withy Berry. Trying to turn was Witkowski. Instead it'll go out of bounds, but it'll be a Garnet throw-in, and now they'll bring on a couple of forwards in reserve, and actually just one to begin things. Zach Viscusi, Jr. from right down the road, Aston, Pennsylvania, coming on to the pitch in place of Joe Barilli.
Number 3, Zach Viscusi.
Viscusi converted a penalty for his first goal of the season. That'll go out of bounds. Throw-in for the Garnet will be taken by Gross. And actually, the Garnet will now bring in another sub at forward. Connor Gill coming on for the first time tonight in place of Ethan Witkowski.
Checking in for Swarthmore, number 14, Connor Gill.
Throw-in will go to Lau. Here's Viscusi. Viscusi taking a shot. And that's just wide of net. Lockstanford had it covered up. Take another look here. Viscusi taking a shot on basically his first touch of the game. And that'll skip just wide. Looked like Lockstanford had his near post covered up as it was, but a try there. Viscusi once again trying to get underneath. And he will try to run in on Harley. Viscusi. And this will be popped out of bounds. Throw-in for the Garnet once again. Michael Gross now. Connor Gill. Gross to Skews. Now here's a cross in. Almost got towards the top of the 18. Connor Gill with his back to goal. Still Gill now top. There's a shot. That's just high off the foot of Charlie Ward. He brings some danger from distance. We saw a shot by him, got saved by Loxham for earlier today. Tried to settle, and the half volley will carry over the top of the net. Very difficult to keep those down. It's like he also went with the toe poke there and just got his foot underneath and carried that one up into the air. Nevins will head forward off of Gill, and now this will be popped ahead. Harley trying to get underneath, and that'll be out of bounds off the Eagles. Here's Michael Gross with the throw-in. Ball off of Gill, goes to Harley. Needs trying to keep it in. Needs trying to ignite the counterattack. And it was Nevins to break things up for the Garnet D. Play it through once again to Needs. This will go back. Ward went to ground very early there. And Lannion will put a ball over the top. Ward trying to get underneath. Now this will be pushed back to Lannion. To Bradley now. Joey Bradley trying to put a ball through. Instead it's Zach Harley to get in the way. Lau back to Nevins. Now here's Gross. Gross trying for the give and go with Ward, just a step too far ahead of him.
Back in for Eastern number 17, Jake Sankey.
Throw in now for Zach Harley. Off the head of Needs. Lau getting underneath, and whistle blows. The foul committed by Julian. Not sure what the call is. Connor Gill trying to get it for the Garnet. He's got Viscusi running ahead. Gill trying to get it from McGlynn. And McGlynn able to clear that away. However, that'll go back to Bradley. Now at the feet of Wahinya, who will play it back to Lockstamp for. Gill almost able to break away there. He had Viscusi running ahead of him. Instead, Eastern able to break things up. This one, back towards the box. You gotta admire the play of Viscusi there. Not particularly tall, only stands about 5'7", I believe, but you can see him out there giving his all on all of these aerial challenges, even against defenders that have 6 inches or more on him. There's a cross in. That'll be blocked by Muth. Lau able to get onto it. This will go to Viscusi. Now Gill. Gill trying to create some space for himself. He will get knocked down. That is a free kick. And a yellow card as well. Shown to, I believe, Jake Sankey there. Oh, this will be a free kick from right near midfield. Taken by Muth. Muth will loft one up, and that will go wide of net, but it'll be a corner kick for the Garnet, their 6th of the evening. Taking short, Gross tries to put one in towards the back post. It'll go out of the box. Muth, however, is there. Muth trying to put another one in, and that's saved by Lockstamp 4. Looked like it might have been going wide anyway, but Lockstamp 4 able to grab it, and he will punt away. Lannion trying to run underneath. Instead, he will run it out of bounds. Thrown for the Garnet. We take another look here. The cross back in from Muth. That might have been right inside the near post there. Lannion will lift in there. You see again Viscusi going up for the aerial challenge. Off the head of Bueno. Harley. Play that back off of him. Able to control Connor Gill trying to play it through. And now here's Lau. And Viscusi is offsides as the flag goes up. And this will go back now to the midfield, and getting tripped up there was Needs. Ben Lau has it taken away from him by Wahinyan, so it'll go back to Bradley, who will push up to Lau, now playing it out wide. Here's the cross in, and that is wide of Lockstamp 4. Couple subs for Eastern as they will bring on the Harmon brothers, Liam and Cade. Cade leading the team with
Into the game for the Eagles.
3 goals on
Number
the
6,
season.
Liam Harmon, and number 7, Cade Harmon.
So go all the way back now to Withy Berry. Viscusi tried to knock it down. Viscusi trying to play it back for Bradley. And instead, this will go back. Now, in the midfield, here's Ward fighting for it with Wahinya. And Ward will shove down, and this will be another booking. And it'll be a yellow card awarded to Charlie Ward as he shoved down Wahinya there as he looked to ignite the counterattack for the Eagles. So free kick from just past midfield. Witkowski preparing to come back on for the Garnet as they try to break this 0-0 deadlock. Just about 14 minutes left to play in the second half. Gross will try to clear that up the sideline. That'll go out of bounds. Throw-in for the Eagles will be taken by Zach Harley. And actually, he will leave that off for Walenda. And Walenda will try to put this into the box. He's constrained just a little bit by the presence of the Eastern bench. That's an interesting looking run up there. And that'll settle for Withy Berry. Nobody able to get a touch on for the Eagles in front of goal. Nevins will try to send long for Scoos once again. And now this will be Wahinya. Over to Harley. Harley controlling right at the near sideline. And now Viscusi gets it back to Ward. Charlie Ward trying to play it up the sideline. Bueno racing for it. Harley forced to take a touch there. That will go out the back, and it is a corner for the Garnet, their 8th of the evening. Much of the chagrin of the Eastern fans, though that pretty clearly looked like it was a touch by Zach Harley that put the ball out the back, and instead it will be Michael Gross with the corner kick as Ethan Witkowski and Trevor Homestead come back onto the pitch for the Garnet. Witkowski setting up at the near post, and that'll be kept away. Viscusi. Actually, the whistle had already blown. Foul in the box on the Garnet. It'll be a free kick for Lockstamp 4. So long through the midfield. Bueno trying to get his head on, and it'll go out of bounds. Throw-in for the Garnet will be taken by Michael Gross. Go off the head of Viscusi. Back to Witkowski. Witkowski back to Scoos. Scoos trying to get inside of the box. The shot off the crossbar. Here's another ball back in. Witkowski trying to track it down. Now Gross. Homestead out wide. Witkowski will lift a cross and trying to center it back. And there's another shot right at Lockstamp 4. So Lockstamp 4 will send it long away, and Muth. Head on. This will be pushed forward by Wahinya. Harmon now to his brother Liam. This will be lifted in towards the box. Unable to get his head on, I believe, was Nevins. This will go out the back. And it's another corner kick for the Eagles. Here's Viscusi with his great run around the edge. Puts one back. Homestead tries to redirect from just outside the top of the 6. Get another look here. Viscusi, that, not sure, looks like it went off the hand of, I believe, Cole Lesher. No call by the ref. And it'll be Colin Furlong to lift in the corner, and Nevins got his head on to clear it away from danger. Inside 10 minutes to play now. Homestead will control at the near sideline and try to push it ahead, looking for Viscusi. Bradley underneath. Bradley popping it up into the air and out of bounds. It'll be an Eagles throw-in. Bradley fighting for it. He'll get knocked down, tangled up in the midfield as Viscusi goes down, and he will win the free kick for the Garnet. Yeah, Viscusi getting his legs caught there. So it'll be a free kick from right behind midfield. Jason Muth will be the one to send it long for the Garnet. 8.5 minutes left to play. Witkowski trying underneath near the top, or middle, of the box. I'm confused with my directional words there, and the Garnet will bring back on Yu Heng Wang as we get another look here at the near miss. Homestead in the perfect spot and simply cannot find the top corner there. That's about as close as you can get. As they say, the piping is the goalie's best friend, and the crossbar coming in big that time to save Ben Lockstamp for Nevins, trying to put a ball over the top. Instead, that'll settle once again for Lockstamp for, and he will boot it away. Wow, trying to get his head on. He does indeed. And this will be controlled by Eastern in the midfield. Roll out of bounds, throw in for the Eagles. Out of bounds, another Eagles thrown from inside the attacking third. Try and make the turn there. This will go back. Line Wong. Trying to apply pressure there. Nevins gets his head on, and that'll go off of Homestead. Now Liam Harmon has got it for the Eagles. Harmon trying to work in on Wong and Gross. Back up top to Furlong. That's Ardone. And that'll settle for Muth, who will push forward, looking for Scoos. Scoos will play it to Wong, and now here's Wong on the turn. Wong trying to play it up ahead for Witkowski. Witkowski will control off his chest. Showing off the ball control there. Gross to Witkowski. To Wong, now back to Gross. Here's Homestead to Scoos. Who's fighting for it, trying to push it through to Witkowski, and Lockstamp for there to jump on it. As he will prepare to punt it away. Low line drive kick. Lannion coming forward to knock that one up ahead, and there's a foul in the midfield. It'll be another free kick for the Garnet, about 35 or 40 yards out. And Muth has certainly got the range, and actually it'll be Yu Heng Wang standing over it as they will bring Muth up into the box. Stands believe about 6'2 or 6'3", so they want him as a target in the box. This will be punched up into the air by Lockstamp. 4 went between his hands there as he tried to grab it again and finally able to corral it. He'll boot that away. Once again, off the head of Lannion. Controlled far sideline by the Eagles. Now pushing ahead, he's got Harmon wide open. That's just kept in. Instead, it'll skip out of bounds. Out the back as it hit the corner flag. It'll be a goal kick for Withy Berry. Had Liam Harmon running wide open down the far sideline. Might have been able to open something up if they could have switched fields there. Instead, it'll be a goal kick for the Garnet. As we are now inside 5 minutes to play in regulation. There's a low line drive. Nevins able to flick that forward off the head of Viscusi. Witkowski trying to pop it ahead for Wong. Wong couldn't quite get free. We'll play it short. Trying to center it. That's Homestead. Wong now once again into the corner. Looks to lift a cross in, and that'll get caught in the chest of Liam Harmon. And it'll be a corner kick for the Garnet. So Michael Gross now, as we creep down towards 3 minutes left to play. The Garnet have had 17 shots, only 5 of them on frame. This will be their 8th corner of the night. Lifted up, getting the head on, and that's just wide. Believe that was Jason Muth as we take another look here. Actually, that's Nevins making the run towards the center of the goal, and he heads just wide. 2 beautiful chances for the Garnet, and so far in the final 10 minutes of this game, and they have not been able to put the ball on frame. Back towards the midfield. This will be pushed forward by the Eagles, and it'll settle back for Ben Lau to Nevins. And that'll skip past Wong. Couldn't get the controlling touch on. Out the side. High into the air off the head of Wong. This will be Trevor Homestead. And Wong trying to turn up the sideline to get around Wisdom. This will go out of bounds, thrown for the Garnet near sideline. Right near the top of the 18, extended. Witkowski in the corner trying to put one back across goal. So we'll settle for Needs. Nevins was there and committed the foul inside 2 minutes to play now in regulation. And it'll be a free kick for the Eagles. They will look down the near sideline, and Needs ran into the back of Nevins there. But it'll be Withy Berry holding the ball, and he will bring forward and send this one up through the midfield. Lau will flick ahead. We are down to 1 minute in regulation. And that'll go out of bounds, thrown for the Eagles. Wisdom. High, Michael Gross able to get his head on, and Witkowski can't keep it in at the near sideline. Yu Heng Wong trying to push up Wisdom. Has got it, and Wong commits the foul. It'll be a free kick for the Eagles. 30 seconds left to play. Myers punch it forward up into the air and off ahead. That'll go out the side. It'll be a throw-in for the Garnet. don't believe they have enough time to push the ball up the field as we are down to 5 seconds now. Lanning will take the throw-in, and time will expire here. In regulation, we are heading to overtime between the Eastern University Eagles and the Swarthmore College Garnet. Your score, 0-0, the end of regulation. Still potentially have 20 minutes left of soccer to play here from Clothier Field Stadium. We'll be back in just a moment. About ready to get things started in the first half of overtime here at Clothier Field Stadium. For those of you not familiar with the rules of overtime in college soccer, I know I wasn't in the first overtime game that I called back 2 years ago. The teams will play 2 10-minute halves of golden goal soccer. Any goal will win it immediately. If the teams are unable to score within that 20 minutes total time, then the game will end in a tie. Lannion will poke this forward. The Garnet lost the one overtime game that they've played this season. It was their first game of the season against Ramapo. They were shown, or Trevor Homestead to be specific, was shown red during the second period of overtime. On the ensuing free kick, there was a challenge in the box, which a penalty was called for. And Ramapo was able to convert the penalty and win the game in the second period of overtime in a game that was 0-0 up to that point. Trying to flick it ahead. Here comes Sam Sutherland. And this will go out wide, I believe, to Harmon. Trying to push one in, and Cade Harmon can't connect with Sam Sutherland. That'll be a throw-in for the Eagles. Almost a chance to end things there within the first minute of overtime. Another throw-in for the Eagles. Still bouncing around, and this will eventually go out the back. Goal kick for Ian Withy-Berry, the freshman keeper for the Garnet, making his first career start in place of the injured Oliver Steinglass. Hasn't faced much pressure so far tonight in goal, only had to make one save, faced 5 total shots. However, he has looked calm and poised overall and has had good distribution. And that'll be a free kick in the midfield for the Eagles. Will be taken by Jacob Myers. Myers short to Furlong. Furlong trying to put a cross in. That'll be headed back across goal. And able to put the finishing touch on is Sam Sutherland. Nevins wanted the offsides there. The ball back across goal from Liam Harmon, and Sam Sutherland will put it into the back of the net. Nevins pleading his case there, and A looked pretty clearly offsides. We didn't see the initial kick go off, but that looked fairly clearly to be offsides. Instead, it'll be another overtime loss for the Garnet, their second of the season. Take another look here. Actually might have been just onside. Jake Sankey there with the header back across goal. Might have been just onsides when the kick went off, and yeah, it looks like he was. So we take another look there. Harry Nevins wanted the flag to go up. Instead, it was Sankey's header back across goal, and Sam Sutherland at the back post to put the finishing touch on for the Eagles. The Eagles advance to 3-2 on the season. The Garnet fall to 3-2. Thank you for joining us here on the Garnet Sports Network. My name is Jacob Brady. Your final score 1-0, Eastern Eagles over the Swarthmore Garnet. Thank you for joining us here on the Garnet Sports Network. Have a good night.